Nahshon Garrett.
Nahshon, will you describe those last 30 seconds, whatever, especially when he looked like he was close to taking you down?
Yeah, last 30 seconds, I got a little lazy. I let him get in on a takedown. The last 30 seconds, pretty easy, and then had to fight for that when he was in on my legs. Pretty tough. That last go, but ultimately it was just about pushing myself to defend what I could, and do what I could to get out there and make it through, and ultimately advance to the finals.
So you had the first two takedowns, though. How important was it in your mind to get that early lead and be able to add to it?
It was really important. I needed to get to my shots and my offense really early on, because I knew that at the end the fatigue sets in a little bit, and I wanted to make sure that I was ahead.
What is the difference between you from last year? Is it just all mental? Is it new style? Anything different?
I don't think necessarily my style's changed, but I think that I'm just a little more experienced this year. I mean, I've been here last year before, kind of had the jitters last year, and got a little emotional before the semifinals, which kind of played a part in my loss. But this year, there's no fear. I knew what I had to do. I've been training a certain way, and I went out there and wrestled the best I could, and not the best I could, but I wrestled well enough to win.
You faced Delgado earlier this year. Can you talk about that match?
That was a pretty close match up until the third, when I had to try and do something to score. But I mean, it's strategy. It's all strategy with him. You can try and be as aggressive as you want to, and he's just so good at his strategic game plan, and he sticks to it very well. Very commendable attribute actually of his. And but I think that's something that he's even taught me to pick up, even in the mat room, that I have to have strategy when I wrestle. It's not just about brawling it out and wrestling hard, because not everyone's going to do that. People are trying to score their points and maybe sit on a lead, which is something that, I'm not saying that he does that, but there's been some matches. So.
Got two Californians in the finals, and obviously both of you left California, or at least Delgado left after a little bit to go to another part of the country. Talk about the pride you have of being California wrestlers, and what kind of deal it'll be to have two of you going for the one title.
I think it's great, because I think California gets a lot of, people talk a lot of smack about California because we may not have as many All-Americans or whatever as New Jersey or New York or or Iowa or some of these other big states. But I think it's a matter of that we can do it, and if you're out there, I think it's just a matter of just pushing yourself to grind it out like the rest of these states are doing.
How often would you two have met as preps?
I haven't even ever officially met him before, but yeah. So I mean, we wrestled twice and never really had an introduction or anything, but yeah. So we haven't really done the whole formal thing at all.
Nahshon, I know you have a lot of friends and family here and to support you. How important is that for you, especially heading into the finals?
Oh, my relationships with my friends and family are one of the most important things that are keeping me going. Last year when I was in the semifinals, when I was wrestling Delgado, I looked up in the stands, and it was that overwhelming feeling of just so much support and love that was encompassing me, and that's the reason why I was just getting so emotional, because I was just so happy. It was just such an overwhelming feeling of emotion. Even more important than my relationships with those people is, I don't know if you're going to ask this or not, but I'm going to say it anyways, is my relationship with God and through Jesus. And I think that's even over all those relationships, and my relationships with my coaches and my sister and my girlfriend and everybody else. I have to have a relationship with my Father in heaven, and he keeps me going when no one else is there, really.
Nahshon, after the review in the first period, you had the takedown you raced. What did you do to regroup? I know that could have possibly taken away some of your momentum. How did you regroup?
Which takedown are we talking about?
First period, end of the first.
Oh, at the end of the first. Oh, yeah. I knew that at the very end of the period, that people kind of relax a little bit, and I figured maybe I can catch them with my double. And I was actually able to do it, but I didn't count. But my coaches they're absolutely great. They know, they've been in these positions before. They have wrestled in these positions, and they know, if it doesn't work out to your advantage, if you can't control, you can only control what you can control. And so they told me, if you don't get it, then shake it off. Get ready to go.
Cornell had a really good run last session and put themselves in the top 5. Talk a little bit about the program there and the kind of pride you guys take. Obviously, the king of the EIWAs, but have established yourself as a program that competitive at the highest levels.
I can't even. I would love to take credit for that. I am a part of it, but Coach Cole and Coach Han and Mike, and they've done all the work, and they do a great job recruiting people. But even though we don't get some of the big names that we think we want or that we want, we are great at training. We do a great job of training young guys and giving them confidence and pushing them to their peak so that they wrestle like All-Americans and national champions. And I think that's what Cole does a great job of doing, is taking those people who are very unsuspecting, like, I don't think he'll maybe do that well, and they make those guys. You look at Gabe Dean. He was getting beat up on, his senior year in high school, and no one ever even looked at him. But
Were you one of those guys?
I think I was one of those guys too. Yeah, I was really little. I was about 112 pounds, probably like 16, and I was very overlooked, and people didn't really pay too much attention. I think they saw potential, but they didn't want to invest in the future. And Coach Cole saw me right away, and then the moment he did, he said, I want that guy, and he sent a letter to my coach, and from there it's kind of history.
Okay. Great. Thanks, Nahshon.
Thanks, Nahshon.